All right, today we're taking a journey to the southeastern coast of Sri Lanka to dive into a real treasure of the natural world, Kumana National Park. Now, it's famous as a haven for all kinds of wildlife lovers, but it's earned a very special title for one particular group of enthusiasts. Let's get into it.
So that kind of brings us to the big question for today. What really makes a place a paradise for birdwatchers? Is it just about seeing a ton of birds, or is there something more to it? We're going to answer that by exploring the pretty unique mix of things that gives Kumana its world-class reputation.
Okay, first things first, let's get our bearings. We're heading to the eastern province of Sri Lanka. It's a region that's known for its stunning, untouched coastline and just incredible biodiversity. This is where our adventure begins. And when we talk about scale, wow, this place is massive. We're talking over 35,000 hectares. And to give you some perspective, the park is so huge that its northern border is actually a river. And on the other side of that river is another famous reserve, Yala National Park. So you see, this isn't just some isolated patch of green. It's a vital piece of a much larger interconnected ecosystem.
So with all that space, what's Kumana's main claim to fame? I mean, the park is jam-packed with all sorts of wildlife, but it's the birds. Yeah, the birds have really put this place on the map. They've turned it into a true global hotspot, an avian paradise.
Get ready for this number, 255. That is the number of different bird species that have been recorded right here. And that incredible variety isn't just a big deal for Sri Lanka, no. It makes Kumana a place of global importance for birders and conservationists everywhere.
And you know, among those 255 species, you've got some seriously spectacular residents. Just imagine seeing these huge, colorful painted storks, or the incredibly rare black-necked stork. Then you have massive flocks of pelicans and these elegant egrets. And what's wild is that a lot of these birds are migratory. They travel thousands of miles just to call Kumana their home for a while.
So how in the world does the park support all this life? Well, the secret is right here, the Kumana Villu. You can think of this 200-hectare mangrove swamp as the park's engine room. It's this huge, shallow lake system that becomes the #1 spot for feeding, for breeding, for nesting, especially when all those migratory birds arrive. This is the absolute heart of the bird paradise. But here's the thing, the story doesn't just end with the birds. To really get Kumana, you have to look beyond the feathers. You've got to see the whole, complete, thriving ecosystem that makes this place so special. Because you see, an environment this rich, this full of life, it supports everything, right up to some of the most iconic large mammals on the entire planet. You'll find majestic Sri Lankan elephants wandering through the grasslands and the forest. And the powerful, super elusive leopard, the island's top predator, stalking through those same woods. And of course, down in those wetlands, you've got these ancient predators, crocodiles, which are a critical part of that whole aquatic food web. So how can elephants, leopards, and nesting birds all flourish in the same area? Well, the answer is this incredible mosaic of habitats. Kumana isn't just one thing. It's this perfect combination of mangrove swamps, clean lagoons, wide-open grasslands for the big grazers, and these thick, dry, evergreen forests. Each little zone supports different kinds of animals, and altogether, they create this absolutely amazing biodiversity.
But there's another layer to Kumana, one that goes way, way beyond the living creatures we see today. This isn't just a place for wildlife. It's a landscape that is soaks in deep, deep human history.
Just look at this timeline. You can see the park's importance didn't just pop up recently. For centuries, this was a place of spiritual significance, dotted with ancient Buddhist ruins and rock carvings. Then, in 1938, its ecological value was formally recognized when it became a bird sanctuary. And finally, in 1969, it got the highest level of protection as a national park.
This quote right here, it just nails it. It really captures the park's double identity. It's not just about what's alive there today. It's about the centuries of human history that played out on this very land. Kumana is a living museum and a thriving ecosystem, all at the same time. It's pretty incredible. So, if you're sitting there feeling inspired, you're probably thinking, okay, I have to see this place. Let's switch gears and talk about some practical stuff. How could you actually plan your own expedition to this remarkable park? First off, timing is everything. The absolute best time to go is between April and July. Now, this is the dry season, and that's huge for two reasons. One, the wildlife tends to gather around the waterholes that are left, which makes them way easier to spot. And two, that's the peak season for all those amazing migratory birds we were talking about.
Now, getting there is a bit of a journey, but it's totally straightforward. The closest international airport is in Matala. If you're coming by road from Colombo, you're looking at about a 7 to 8 hour drive. And the main way in is through the entrance near the small coastal village of Okanda, which is actually a really important cultural spot itself. But, visiting a place this special, well, it comes with a certain responsibility. Like so many of the world's protected areas, Kumana is a fragile treasure, and it faces some very real threats. On one hand, the park is up against some serious challenges: illegal poaching, the degradation of its habitats, and those inevitable conflicts that happen between people and wildlife on its borders. But, and this is the good news, active efforts are happening right now to fight back. We're talking anti-poaching patrols on the ground, projects to restore the wetlands, and initiatives to get local communities involved as partners in conservation. And that really brings us to our final thought. Kumana is so much more than just a park. It's this rare, beautiful mix of vibrant, living nature and deep, quiet history. It's a reminder that the world's most incredible places are often its most fragile. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what's our role as travelers, as learners, as global citizens in making sure that treasures like this one actually survive for future generations to come and explore?